All right, we're here. We finally started the pod. We've made some video shorts. It's been a minute. We've been talking about it, and we're finally back from, a little vacation, and we now have the Lions Giants joint practice had started. We got 2 days in now, and we got the game coming up Thursday with them, but some early indications on what we saw. We had the Malik Neighbors cooking the defense. He was cooking our DBs. We've been seeing a bunch of tweets and a bunch of everything about how Malik Neighbors is cooking. What do you think about everything that's going on with Malik Neighbors, bro?
Nah, so I think Malik Neighbors is a good matchup for our young corners, considering he's also young. Considering the fact that Malik Neighbors was drafted fifth by the Giants, Terry Arnold was also taken in the first round, so that should show where the talent is based off being a rookie and not having no time to develop in the league. Being a young player, obviously each young player is going to have their struggles coming into the league. But what I'm seeing from Rakestraw and what I'm hearing, and seeing some video clips of what he's doing at training camp, he's looking to be the stronger one of the two as of right now. So I'm curious to see where they are after this first preseason game because they'll get to shine one-on-one in game.
Yeah, no, I was we've obviously been seeing some stuff on Rick Straw about some good stuff, but it did say, we've been seeing that Arnold has been taking he's been taking his he's been taking the first team reps, and that's been good. We've also heard that, he's been struggling in the beginning of it, but also in the report by Tim Twentyman that we looked over earlier, that we saw that he's been earning those first team reps, and he's been able to look a little bit better. So, although Malik Neighbors is looking very good, this guy was picked fifth, and we know who Malik Neighbors is. Like, these are a bunch of young guys that we're looking to test, and although it might not be looking phenomenal in terms of just that matchup, everything else seems to be looking all right in terms of like things got better in terms of day two. We saw that, but getting on to we're gonna get on to some other stuff now, even just mentioning Malik Neighbors, but now we're gonna talk about all the joints and the scuffles that occurred from it. We saw Kirby Joseph swing at his ass today after he got
Yeah,
he got swung at first by he
Malik
literally got
Malik
swung at first by
Neighbors
Neighbors.
Malik Neighbors Malik Neighbors started it. He initiated the whole thing. He had an interview after. He said, "Oh, I was just telling him good play and patting him on the helmet." Hell no, hell no. How do you say
Bro,
good
nah,
game
he
by
was doing way
punching
more
him in
than
the?
that, bro.
How do you tell someone good rep by pushing their face mask hard as shit?
Good. Nah, that's not obviously we knew there, and then we're on day two, but talking about day one, we saw there was like eight scuffles that they said. It was a bunch of crazy stuff. We saw Amon Ra get into it, and then obviously we see a lot of this Giants. We see a lot of these Giants reporters. Oh, they're not coming to back up. They're not coming to back up their guy. They're not like, come on, just watch the video
They're
clip a little
taking
bit
everything
longer.
out of
And
context. They're cutting the clip short. They're cutting the
no,
clip
yeah,
short.
no, they're not paying attention. But there was a bunch of other scuffles, although it was like, yeah, they were teching our secondary. Some players actually that we saw that have been cooking: Jameson Williams, Levi Onwuzurike. First off, Jameson Williams, man, let's talk about him. Obviously, we love we've been talking quite big about that man, just to our relatives, to
Oh
our
my
loved ones,
god.
and anybody that we talked to before we started this. But Jameson Williams, we knew he's going coming into he's coming into a contract year. He's had some he had his injury, he had his ACL injury, where when we drafted him, and then he got back from that and wasn't the way that we didn't do too much. He had a touch, he had a big touchdown, and then almost
Yeah.
had another one, but it wasn't too much there. And then he got back, and then there was the gambling thing, so he was out for six more games.
No, four.
But and
Remember,
then
it was only four. At one point, it was only
it was only
four
four.
because he did
It was
appeal.
only four. It was only
He,
he appealed, and he got his he only okay, so he was only out 4 games, right? But we saw, everything was a little bit different, and then things started to ramp up. He started to get a little bit more touches. He started to cook a little bit more. We started to see the speed. We started to see what he was really doing well. we started it. Going into like the end of the season. He was getting catches, but he had 2 touchdowns in that NFC Championship game, and those were some big money touchdowns. He had the first touchdown and the last touchdown. Funny enough, but those were huge touchdowns. But yeah, like what do you think, man? He's been cooking, but it's still a question mark and a lot, and there's mixed feelings.
So Jameson Williams, we all know once he gets the ball in his hands, he is one of the most electric players to watch. Like he's insane. Hard to bring down. You can't track him. He's too fast. Once he gets the ball, it's over for the defense. But we just need to see more consistency in the hands. If he gets, oh my God, I can't stress enough. If he gets more consistent on the catching, I promise you, over 1,000 yards.
Hey, hey, that's I don't think that's too out of realm. We saw Amon obviously cook, but we know now that it, it's just kind of Amon Ra, Jameson Williams, and Daurice Fountain.
Daurice Fountain.
Daurice Fountain. We've been seeing some
Wow.
stuff about him. He's been getting reps with the first team. He's been running with Amon Ra and Jameson Williams. We
He's
got
been
to look
stepping
out for
up.
him.
He's been
But
stepping
that
up.
DP, we haven't heard much about DPJ, bro. What's going on with that guy? What's he
Yeah.
doing, bro?
So DPJ, I'm definitely skeptical about. I don't know. I'm definitely skeptical about him. I was last year when we got him, but I mean, it's DPJ, wide receiver three, wide receiver two, depending on what team you put him on. But
Yeah, no, we
DP
obviously, and then we lost
DPJ,
Josh
he's
Reynolds, who was a big
obviously
part of our. Yeah.
DPJ is obviously not like a superstar. He's not proven to be a superstar. He's not proven to be him. But I mean, if he can just be there, if he can be like something like if he can just get his first downs, touch like a couple touchdowns.
Hey, that's enough, bro. That's enough.
That's what
We
I'm
just,
saying.
but like I was, like I said, we were gonna, we just lost Josh Reynolds, and he was as annoying as it was to see what happened in the last game. What happened in the NFC Championship game happened. He was a very important part of our offense. He was wide receiver, two essentially. He was wide receiver two essentially for us, and he's not here anymore. But now we know Jameson Williams is going to be pretty relied upon now, and be there's a lot of high expectations. Obviously, we think pretty highly of him, so there's more to see from him. But Daurice Fountain, that'll be interesting to see what happens with him. Look for out for him in the preseason. We see him and Kaden Davis as well. Another guy
Kaden
to watch out
Davis, that's a
for.
good
We
one.
see that's another undrafted prospect that we got going on, and look out for them in the preseason games. But we can get on to the defensive side of things. Like I said, Levi Onwuzurike. We saw obviously he's gained some weight. He's gotten big. We knew obviously, like, over these years of since he's been drafted, in 2021 when Brad Holmes was first here, we he's been plagued with back injuries, and he hasn't been really on the field. And as big of a problem as, like, our D line was in the beginning, and just as things has gone on, Onwuzurike wasn't really a big part of everything with him being hurt and stuff. But he started to he started to play, this past season a little bit, and now we see that the hype is real for Levi Onwuzurike, and that'll be huge. But also, we also heard that he's been a little bit of a hothead. We heard that, he's been getting into scuffles. He's been constantly in the mix with things. Ellie McNeil's been in the mix of stuff, but Levi Onwuzurike has been with stuff, and
The Giants
it's
had to make him leave. Remember, the Giants told him to leave. The Giants told Levi Onwuzurike to get off the field in day two.
in day two. In day two, we got to watch out. MCDC said, nah, nah, nah. See, the man himself, bro. The man himself kicked, he kicked a man out of practice. What was Unzurike doing? We gotta watch out. But also
It's
we
a
gotta
crash
watch out
out.
for that man. Hey, although we kind of like that energy going on, there's been obviously a lot of built up tension going on, and it's football. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta have that physicality. We always gotta have stuff going on. You know, if we're getting beat or anything, you know, you gotta be showing fight. You gotta be going 100% all the time. Although it's, just preseason and these are joint practices, like these matter. All of these matter. Like every one of all of this matters, even though it's the Giants. It's the
Yeah,
Giants, and a lot of people are thinking a little too highly of them.
they
Uh,
show
they're
they
still a
show a
team.
lot in the young players. They show a lot in young players just for the simple fact that they're going against, like, obviously they have like what, 2 weeks of training camp before a preseason game. So they have 2 weeks against their own teammates. They're finally getting some new competition to start. That even Dan Campbell said it. Dan Campbell said it today. Actually, I seen it in an interview. It gives him like better scouting of his younger players to see where they are against other people they don't see.
Yeah, and it's the good part is like, yeah, like you said, even that uh Dan Campbell, even what he mentioned in the interview, it was like, hey, these are some young guys, but this is all this matters. All this matters, and it's a new challenge, too. You're able to get a bunch of these young guys going at it, and we're essentially one of those teams too. We're not one of these teams who are winning that has a bunch of superstar, but we're not superstar heavy. Just filled with a bunch of large contracts, older players. We've drafted these guys, for the past 3 years since we had this stuff going on with Brad Holmes and we traded for Goff and everything changed. It's just been we've been able to have what we had going on. But now we just go into everything else and we go into Thursday. We have obviously we still have Wednesday. We still have another day before the game. Uh anything you're really really looking into before we get into the game in terms of everything we've seen and everything broken down?
I hope I hope to see Terry Arnold in for at least a quarter. A whole give him a lot of reps. Like we seen it last year with Jack Campbell, he got a lot of reps. It's different because he's a corner. I get it, but if we can get him getting some reps like that early, especially if he's already making first team reps at practice, we need him to be ready when week one comes around. Definitely need to see a lot of Rakestraw.
Yeah, definitely be nice to
Hendon
see him.
Hooker, Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, we've also forgot, even to mention him, like Hendon Hooker too. We gotta look out for him going to this preseason game. We were looking at, we don't really have much quarterback depth going on here. We have Nate Sudfeld as our backup who just tore his ACL, and not much going on there. We saw a little bit of this preseason action. It wasn't phenomenal, but just another backup quarterback, and then Hendon Hooker. We've been seeing some mixed stuff on. So,
Yeah,
obviously young and he's coming back from an injury himself, but an older rookie and somebody that we drafted. And so it'll be important to see how he does going into this preseason. Like I said, we talked about Daurice Fountain. That'll be look at those wide receiver group because our wide receiver group isn't we don't have the most depth of all time. Obviously Amon, Jameson Williams. If Jameson Williams can be what we think he can be, and Amon just continues to be him with the obviously the receiving of Sam Laporta as well. But if just with Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams, we don't have much else going on. Donovan Peoples-Jones, obviously, we haven't heard great things about, and Daurice Fountain has been interesting. So we gotta look more on him, and then Kaden Davis as well. But just some guys to mention. But yeah, that was a good first pod. We had it was a long time coming, but we had some coming up and we'll definitely have a lot more stuff coming up with just a game on Thursday and all of the news happening. There's been a lot of stuff that's been going on in terms of news, but also just a lot of stuff going on with the team and with the fact that we might actually we're Super Bowl contenders, and that's not just a lot. You talk to any of these, you talk to a lot of older fans like us, just being just the age that we are, talking to older people, everyone's like, we haven't seen a team like this, but a lot of people are like, oh yeah, we got to expect them to lose, expect them to this, expect them to that. And, we have a curse. We know what it's like. We've
we're
we've
aware,
seen all the stuff,
very aware, very aware.
very aware of all the stuff going on with Detroit and all of our teams, especially not even just the Lions, but the Lions especially though, obviously. we definitely don't get the good stick of things, but this is not the same Detroit. This is not the same Detroit Lions that that had in the past. We haven't been this good from the top down in a very long, ever. We haven't been this good. We did was we added more to our defense. Yeah, we also lost Emmanuel Moseley. We did lose Emmanuel Moseley to a torn pec. It's crazy how he's just continues to get injured and injured. All you can do is feel for the guy, but at this point, it's just a matter of just letting him go. It's too bad, but there's nothing you can do at this point. Just look elsewhere. We have a big corner room now. Terrion Arnold, Ennis Rakestraw, Amik Robertson, Carlton Dave. There's just a lot. We got a lot going on, and so it'll be interesting for sure. But we got a very very good thing going on for sure, and it'll
This
be
season's
fun.
gonna be this season's gonna be crazy. I already know it's gonna be crazy. I already know because
This
last
will
year
be
was
fun.
crazy. I'm
This
excited.
will be fun. This will be
We see
fun.
Dallas early. We see Dallas early. I'm so excited for that game. Oh my god.
We see the Rams and the Buccaneers like just in the beginning of the season we see what our playoff games were in a stretch. Obviously we don't see the 49ers week 3, but we do see the Rams and the Buccaneers for week 1 and week 2. So that'll all
Yep.
be interesting, but yeah, appreciate it. This is all good. Anybody watching this, our first podcast, appreciate all of you guys. This is all fun. Definitely going to be posting out some more stuff, a lot coming up soon, and we'll be here. We'll be here. It's Lions Legacy. I'm Adam. It's
Kaden.
Caden, and we'll be back soon. See y'all later.